Hi, my name is Kelly Cronin. So I did my law degree up in Leeds in 2011, and I did a 4-year part-time degree because they didn't have enough places on the full-time degree. But that actually worked really well because it allowed me to do a lot of extracurricular things like mooting and pupillage. My chambers disbanded in 2020 and I moved to Park Square Barristers in Leeds, which is where I am now. And during the pandemic, because of my visual impairment, it was much more difficult to do these sort of video hearings with vulnerable clients, with not being able to read the room, as it were, in the same way you would do in person. So I took a lot more civil work, personal injury, contract property, that sort of stuff, because it was remote working, but there was a lot more telephone work and less vulnerable clients. So since then, I've found that I do have a much bigger civil practice now. There's still a little bit of family work, but I tend to be doing more civil work and also branching out into housing, so disrepair, landlord and tenant, that type of thing. I still want to keep my family practice going, but whether ultimately it ends up that way, given the volume of civil work that I'm doing, I don't know. I think things have opened up a lot now, certainly in the north. I can't speak for London, having not practiced here, but certainly in the north there's a big diversity of people across all practice areas. It's certainly becoming more common that people from different backgrounds are joining the bar, and there's no differentiation in terms of practice area really in that regard. I think there's still a lot of work to do in terms of diversity and social mobility, but it's certainly getting better each year. And I think because of the way people are working now, it's more accessible for people. Now there's a lot more social mobility. People are moving up into the different practice areas, and because of the way that people are working, some of it's remote working, I think it is more accessible. And certainly in the north, you can stay more within your own area if you want to. There's plenty of work. So if people have families, or if they don't have very much money to start with, for example, as a pupil, they're not necessarily being expected to travel quite as far for not very much money. They're still having the longer days, of course, and still having to put the work in, but I think that circuit separation, if you're wanting to stay local, does benefit people, and it means that there's a much wider section of society that feel that they can join the bar.